Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the HIMI gouache paint set that comes in a portable carry case with 56 colors. I bought this product on Amazon for about 52 euros. It came in a jelly sort of texture. It's important to note that I did buy this several months ago, so that jelliness has dried out over the last few months, even though the case was closed. But you don't need to worry about that because you can always reactivate the gouache with some water. Although between you and I, that sort of jelly-like texture has not returned. What do I think about this product? Well, I'd probably give it a solid 6.5 out of 10, maybe even a 7. At first, when I bought this product and I tested it out, probably I'd say 8 months ago, I didn't really like it. I thought that the novelty of having jelly gouache was really cool at first, but I did struggle in getting some coverage and making my sort of, I don't know, paintings crisp, if you get my meaning. What I mean by that is when I would put my paintbrush in the jelly-like substance, it would come on extremely thick, so I wasn't able to really get good line control, and it would kind of just like glob onto the paper a little bit, so that to me was a little bit of a downside and kind of difficult to work with. I honestly wish I had footage of it back then, but I unfortunately don't. I only have this, what you're seeing on camera, which is basically just the dried out version of this jelly gouache. And to be quite honest with you, I actually prefer it this way. Now the cool thing is that you can reactivate that jelly sort of texture by just adding a lot of water into the actual color pot. And for me, I can find kind of a good balance or a good medium between both jelly and dried out gouache to get the sort of texture that works for me. Now onto the actual colors. There are 56 colors, and there's actually quite a good amount of options, from red, pinks, yellow, green, blue, turquoise, purple, and even black and white. With these colors, I'm able to do a pretty elaborate sort of scene, either forest, garden, skies, I can even do people. I can do quite a lot. I can mix the colors to create a new tone or a new shade. I can use the colors straight as they are. And I think for this sort of the amount of colors that you get, it's actually quite nice for beginners. You have a lot of choice. That being said, there are certain colors that are pretty much the same. If you can see in this color chart, it shows the different colors that are available within this set. Anywhere that you see with the spearmint, the turquoise, the arts blue, the sort of greenish, bluish tones, these colors, when you apply them to paper, they more or less look the same. But this is just a minor sort of thing that I noticed. It doesn't really take away from the actual set itself. Now, when it comes to applying the paint onto paper, I did see that when you apply the paint onto paper, it comes a little bit, or it applies a little bit translucent. So what this means is that you need to actually work with a lot of layers to get that vibrant color you want on paper. I usually paint with acrylic gouache, and what I really like about acrylic gouache is that it comes on extremely vibrant, it's opaque. You do not need multiple layers to make the color vibrant or to basically coat the entire paper. In this case with this gouache you do, it's more of a watercolor gouache, which is totally fine, so you can play around with the transparency of the actual paint. But in this case, if I want a really rich blue or if I want a really vibrant green, I need to maybe put on about 3 layers of that color to get that vibrancy. And this was a mistake that I did early on when I first got this gouache set. When I started to paint with it, I wasn't applying that many layers, so my gouache paintings ended up turning a little bit washed out. And for that reason, I figured, oh, I don't actually really like this set. It's kind of like a cheap gouache. I don't like it. It's not working out for me. So I kind of take that back, honestly. Basically, what I would recommend is that you work with the colors and you apply layer upon layer upon layer to get that rich, vibrant color. This does come with the warning, however. I would recommend that you limit your water use. So when you're applying the paint onto your paper, try to make sure that you're brush isn't as wet because it will reactivate the layers below. But to be quite honest with you, this is more of a gouache problem. Typical gouache problems, am I right? That's why acrylic gouache is something that I love, because when you work with acrylic gouache and you apply a layer on top of an existing layer, it doesn't reactivate the paint. So to be honest with you, I think acrylic gouache is above just regular gouache. I think it's so much fun to work with. But if you're working with gouache for the first time, just be aware that you can reactivate layers below. So just be careful that your brush isn't soaking wet. I think another positive quality to this product is the carrying case. It makes them portable, you can bring them, you can travel with them. You can also store them quite easily in your room, which is really nice, rather than having just loose sort of paint tubes everywhere. You have this case, it's already organized nice and neat by color. You can also easily clean it. You can remove the pods from the case itself and maybe clean around or replace them. Another thing that I really liked was the amount of paint that I got in each of the pods. You get about 30 milliliters of paint, and this should last you quite some time. One of the downsides, however, is what do I do when I run out of one color? I did check on Amazon to see if they offered refills, but I could not find any. Maybe it's just the wrong marketplace because I am ordering from Germany. If any of you guys know where I could probably get refills, please let me know in the comments below. I would definitely appreciate it. Maybe it's a website I'm not familiar with. I don't really know. I guess if we take a look at the positives, if I do run out of colors, I can reuse the pods, and I can also reuse the case for future paints. I could replace it with a different brand or a different type of paint rather than buy the case all over again just for that 1 or 2 colors. Overall, I think that this paint set is a really cool gift idea, especially if you have a child or a teen that's interested in learning how to paint with gouache. I would definitely recommend this because you have all these really lovely colors and you have a carrying case which keeps everything very neat and organized. That's definitely a bonus for children. I would also classify this paint set as a beginner's paint set, something if you're starting out, it can definitely help you get into the mood to paint, but also to see if you actually like using gouache. It's relatively, I don't necessarily want to say it's cheap per se, but for the amount that you're spending, you are getting quite a lot of paint, and not to mention the carrying case. So for this reason, I think it's a good kind of like beginner set. For a person, a student or a child or a teen that's starting out, they have everything they need. All they need is the brushes and the paper. Will I continue using this product? The answer is yes. I will definitely continue using this product. So far, the way that I've been using it is to basically use it instead of using my expensive paint sets. The paints that I usually use are the Holbein acrylic gouache, and that's a whole different product, and probably I will be doing a different review for that. In general, these paints are quite expensive, so when I just feel like kicking it back, chilling, maybe painting a very relaxing scene, whether that's a form of practice or an exercise or just for myself, I can use these Maya gouache paints to do that. And that's it for my review. I hope you did enjoy this review, and comment down below if you've used this gouache paint set before. I'd love to know your thoughts and whether you're still using it. And just before I end this video, I just want to do a sneaky, cheeky little plug for my books. For those of you that don't know, aside from art, I am a writer and I have published 2 books. You can get The Year of Fallen Stars and Where the Moths Hide, available on Amazon for ebook and or paperback. It is a historical romance trilogy with suspense, time travel, forbidden love, and dark secrets. So if you're curious, check out the links down below. As always, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I wish you a very good rest of your day.